will be starting today's session. So we have learned the components of React Native. We have already learned them. So now today we will start the app also and learn one more part which is very important, which is called the React navigation. So navigation means navigating from going from one screen to another, and then there are various forms of navigation. Like in React navigation, there are mainly three types of navigation: the stack navigator, the tag navigator, and the drawer navigator. The stack navigator is to rotate between the screens. The tab navigator is, there are two types of tab navigators: the material top tab navigator and the bottom tab navigation. So in the same screen, if you want to you have three screens, like in the app, in many apps you can see three icons below, so, and you can switch between the screens. That's called the tab navigator. And the drawer navigator is the sliding navigator, which is in the top left of the screen, when you which slides in, and then you can switch between the screens. So we will be starting with the React navigation. And before that, a student had a doubt how to set up the emulator and set up the Metro bundler. So I will be covering that in 5 minutes. So let's start with that. Okay, so for setting up the emulator, first of all you have to install the VS Code and Android Studio. This is the Android Studio. This is a heavy app, so always see that if your PC is compatible with it. So I would suggest a 8 GB or 16 GB RAM PC. The PC with 4 GB RAM would lag a lot, so you have to see that first. Now you have to, after installing everything, and whenever you are installing the Android Studio, you have to install all the packages and tick when there's an option of, they will be asking that add to path, so you have to tick, so automatically everything gets added to the path. Also, if you haven't done that, I will show you what all you have to add to the path, so that your emulator starts working. So you have to go here, you have to write env, which will open the environment variables of your laptop. And then you have to make another, you can, like this is, you have to make another variable name and variable value. You have to give Android home, and then you have to give the path of the local Android SDK. So you have to go, this is the path you have to give, which is given here, and another part you have to give the Java home. So that also would be in my env. Wait. So Java home would be the system variable, and this would be the user variable. And you have to give the Open JDK or SDK. I am using Open JDK, so I have given that path. So you have to give that path of your Android SDK and your JRE. JRE is the Java kit. And now you have to install Node.js for Windows. So this is very important, and this will be useful for every Eclipse or any IDE. So this is very important. And make sure that your Node.js is updated. So this and then now, if you want to create a emulator, or you have to just see this, you have to just go open Android Studio, then you have to go to configure. Now you have to open the AVD manager, which is the Android virtual device manager. And now I have already created my virtual device. You can create a virtual device whichever you want, and take any properties or any, and make sure that your size is not very big, because the size of my AVD is 17 GB. So if you want to see my AVD, just click this, and your AVD will be launched. Whereas I have auto launching feature in my VS Code, you can also launch it like this. See, my AVD is launched. This is the last app I was building. This is my AVD. So this is how, and if you want to make a virtual device, you can make, and make sure you have only 1-2 devices, or it will take much of your memory space. So hope this is how you create the emulator. And now I will show you how to, you also had a doubt of Metro bundler. So you have to just, after your React Native development setup, is done here. So you first of all go to the React Native official documentation and go to setting up development environment, and you have to follow all the steps. And then at the last you have to run npx React Native, run Android, and your Metro bundler will be started, and your app also will be launched. So this is how you have to do. And if you still you are not able to do, there's one doubt session at the end. You can share your screen and we will work it out. So for now we will be starting with React navigation. Is there any doubts? No? Okay. If there are any doubts, you can put in the chat or unmute and speak. So now we will be starting with React navigation. So first of all, you have there are some requirements for React navigation. So your React Native version should be greater than 0.63, and since you guys are using Expo, this should be greater than 41. You can check this in your packet.json and everything. See, everything is present here. Also there's one Android build.gradle files. Also, this all should be checked. You have to, there are two types of Gradle. One is the app Gradle, and this one is the Android Gradle. So you have to check everything is proper. So now first of all you have to install native React navigation. So I will be sending everything you have to install. You have to just run it in the VS Code here terminal. You have to just run it here. Okay, so and press enter. Now you have to, since you are using Expo, so instead of npm you can use Expo. And now you have to also install React Native screens and React Native save area context. So you guys you will be using this too. Now you will be, I will explain this afterwards what it is. And if you are using iOS, you can use this pod install commands. So this is it for these are the minimum requirements, and you have to install all of them. And now we will start with navigation. So for navigation, we will start with Stack Navigator. So you have to install the Stack Navigator too. And also remember, if I am sending off npm, you have to use Expo if you are using Expo instead of npm. So now let us start with the, I have created a sample project. So there's nothing here in the app.js. So now we will write a code and to see how to create a Stack Navigator, right? So first of all, you have to import the packages which we have installed right now. I've installed all my packages, so I don't already, so I will not be installing it again. I will tell you when to install what. So now we will be importing it. So this is how you import the, first of all, you have to import a navigation container. See, it will be automatically coming here. Now you have to import it, a Stack Navigator. So this is how you create Stack Navigator. So it is automatically imported. Now you have to make a constant called Stack Navigator. When this is very important, stack is equal to create Stack Navigator. So this is how you create a Stack Navigator, and then since it's empty right now, and this is how create. And now we will be creating two demo screens. So let us create, you can create two screens here also like this screen. This is how you create screen a.js like this. So this is the screen a.js. So I'm creating both my files in my app.js only. Always remember your main code should be written in the app.js only. So this is how you create a function. So we can take screen A. So, and we can give, you always remember you have to give a navigation here because we will be using navigation. So create a curly bracket and give a navigation here when you are creating the function. So now we can give a on press handler. We did it yesterday. So constant on press handler. This is how you create, if you remember. So now we can give it this is how you give navigation. This is very important. Navigation dot navigate. This is the inbuilt function of React Native. Navigation dot navigate, and now give the screen you want to navigate. So now we will be creating a screen B later. So let us take the screen B for now. So this is how you give, and now we will always give a return function. So give a return function. So what will be displayed on your screen one? So we can create a view style is equal to styles dot body, and you can create a text field. Always remember to create a text field inside a view. Styles is equal to style dot text. So I've given a text field, and let's name it screen A. Screen A. So the text should be, this would be displayed when you are using it. So now we have given the text, and now you have to give a pressable. So you can give a pressable, right? So give a pressable for the button point of view. Now we can give the on press handler here, which we used it. So on press is equal to pass the function here on press. Okay, on press handler. On press is equal to on press handler. Press handler here. Okay, I have not closed the view here. So pressable on press handler, and now you can give a style to it, right? So give a style, right? Style is equal to, and this is important now. See, this is how you give one curly bracket and then the empty function and then pressed in JavaScript. So in curly brackets, in round brackets. Okay, so this is how you give, and now you have to inherit it. So you have to give a function. This is how you give a function is equal to an arrow, and now you can give any properties or any styling you want. So we will give background color. Background color is to press. So this is a JavaScript function. If you know, if you press it, this will be the value, and if you don't press it, this will be the value. So give it DDD color, and this will be the value if not pressed. So you can give any color. So we will be giving, okay, here's O color. So this is how you closed it, right? And now you can give another text style, right? So always you use copy pasting code. You have to avoid writing everything again and again. So take it here, and now you can give go to screen B, because we need to go to screen B. So this is how you give, and now you have to close your pressable and view, right? So right, close it, pressable, and now you have to close your view. So there are no errors now. So now we have created a screen A. So now if we want to create a screen B, so we will copy the same code. It's starting from here, ending here, right? So function, the same code here, next line, and now instead of screen A, we will write screen B. Screen B, and if you want to go to screen A. So everything is same here, and this would be screen A. Okay, so I guess everything is same. And now you have to create a main function, right? So create a main function. So function, your main function should be similar to your file's name, and the function you are exporting it default. So function app, and now just give a return to it. So this is the main navigation. So whenever you are giving a stack navigator, remember in the return, you have to give you have to enclose it with a navigation container, which we imported earlier, navigation container, and everything should be here. So close it afterwards. We have closed it, right? And now you have to create the stack navigator. So this is how you create a stack navigator. So stack dot navigator, which we imported earlier. And so this will be your screen. You can give any screen here. So this would be a blank one. And now you have to give, this would be just a stack navigator. So you have to close it, right? So close it like this. Okay. So you have created a stack navigator. Now you have to create the stack screens. So you have to create a stack screen, and now you have to name the screen. This is very important. Name is equal to, okay, so we have named it earlier. So screen A, right? And now just close it. So you don't need this tag. Directly you can close it here itself. So we have created a stack screen, and you have to always import the function here in the component. So component is equal to screen A, because the this is our component, right? The function, this is the component. So always this should be imported here. So screen A. Whenever you hover it, see the function will be seen here. So now similarly create the screen B. So just copy paste and screen B. Okay, this should not be, we took the stack navigator along, this much. Okay, so this is the screen B. And now the function of screen B, right? So there are no errors, right? So I guess this is it. And now let's see if it's working. So npm run Android. This will take certain time. So we will revise it till that. So style.txt is not being imported. Okay, so this should be styles.text, right? See, there are some minute errors also. This should be styles.text. This should be styles.text. And this should be text. Okay, so now there are no errors. Now this, right? So let's see our emulator. This is the emulator which was launched, and let's see how, if our app is built or not. I guess there's a, okay, there's one minute error. Now you have, I will try it again. See, this is, you have to always import it here. Okay, see the build, this is the app is working now. I guess there should be no errors now. See, this is the screen A we have created, and once you click to screen B, this went to screen B. See, and whenever you created the screen B, there is a default back navigator here. So if you click here also, this will be going to screen A. So now if you want a stack navigator to ignore the, this is not looking nice, right? So you have to give the screen options here. So if you give a screen options here, this is how you give screen options. And now you have to, so that the header is not looking nice, right? So give the header function is equal to empty is equal to null. So this is how you give a null function and close it. Okay. See now I guess this would be disappeared. Once again. Okay, so let's try it here too. In the stack screen itself. So add the component here, and here it would be only the option, right? So screen options. This is screen options. See, I guess this was the error here. Screen options it is. Okay, so the header went in both the screens because you have imported it in the common stack navigator. If you just want to remove it in A, you have to give options is equal to same instead of screen option. So we are done with stack navigation. Now, if you guys have any doubts, so you can ask for the uh, stack navigation. Any doubts if you have, you can ask. So now after this, uh, we will be starting the tab navigation, right? So first of all, you have to go to the React navigation and take. If you have any doubts, you can see. I've send the link in the chat. Now, if you have any doubts, you can ask. I will be waiting for 2 minutes. We have completed stack navigation. Now we will be starting with top tab navigation, everything. Okay, so I guess there are no doubts. So, okay, so we can start. Now I will show you what all you have to import. Okay, my screen share is off. What? Wait.
Yeah, your screen share is off.
1 second. Hmm. 1 second. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, visible.
So now you have to go to the official documentation and see React tab navigation. Right? See. The doc official docs. Now you have to import material tabs, bottom tabs, right? So I will be sharing this too. Import this, install this. So this includes both the bottom tab and material top navigation and bottom tab navigation. So this is how you have to just import this package, and now we can start it. So I've already imported and created 2 dummy screens. So this is how you import a bottom tab navigator, create bottom tab navigator, and same you have to import bottom instead of tab, you have to import bottom. So we have imported top tab and bottom tab navigation. So now we will start with our bottom navigation. So this is how you import. Just like we created a stack navigator, you have to take it, create a bottom tab navigator. So bottom tab navigator, right? See. And now, first of all, we will bottom tab navigator we did, and now we have to make our function, right? The function app function app, and now we can similarly give the return function. So now we will be creating the tab navigation. So every navigation you have to enclose it in the navigation container. So navigation container, and close it with a navigation container. Close it right now only, so it is at the end. You don't have to do these things. So we have to create a navigation container, and now we have to create the tab navigator. In that there was a stack navigator, so now we have to create the tab navigator, right? So tab navigator, close it, and now you have to create the tag. So in the tab navigator you can create any this is the default value. So first we will be creating the tabs, right? So this is the tab screen one, tab dot screen, just like tab dot screen, and you can name it name is equal to screen. Similarly, we did okay. I should have used that code only. Okay, it's okay. And now we have to import the component. So component, okay, I'm not close it, right? And component is equal to screen A, right? Because the function was screen A. So see, screen A is imported as a JSX element. So tab screen, you can close it here itself. So one of our tab screens is created. So you can give any properties or anything attribute. So we can give the bar style here. So let's give the bar style as so you have to give it in the options, right? So options is equal to have any doubt you can ask now. Top bar badge is to 3. So third one. And now we can create a similar screen, tab screen called B. So take it here. We don't want here this. And now screen B, right? Screen B and screen B. Screen. So this is how we created the tab navigator and closed it, right? So now we can give some properties to our tab navigator. First of all, let's see if see, two screens are created. There's no okay. We have to refresh it, right? So press a R here. See, two screens are created. Now we will be giving some properties so that it looks nice. See, screen and screen B. So now we will be giving some properties to it. So let us give some screen options. We can give screen options so that it looks nice. Screen option equal to root. And now you can give a okay if else condition, we will do it later. And now you can give a top tab navigation option. So I guess I add the code. This would be very long, so let's take the properties code once again. Just a second. One second. So I had the code ready and time is saved. Now you have to just see what happened here and the refresh button here. See a top tab for a top tab and our material our this is font awesome 5. So there are some React Native vector icons and you have to import this before using this. I have not linked them so that they are not visible here. So see, there are two tabs here. I don't know why this is not being pressed. I guess there's a emulator issue here. So this is how you give a top navigation, and instead of tab, if you want to see bottom navigation, so you have to just replace it. So Control F, find everything everywhere where's there top. So instead of top, you can take it bottom, right? So let's comment this out and take a bottom tab and see, find where's top. So top is here. Okay, that's it. You have to make it like this only. See, it went to bottom, right? See, this is how you created a bottom tab and top tab navigation. So there's one compiler issue, or I guess so it's not being shown here, or else it would go to screen B. So this is how you give a top tab navigation and bottom tab navigation. So we are done with tab navigation. So now we can start with the third type of navigation, which is the drawer navigation. So if you have any doubts, you can ask. And the drawer navigation is not that important because you nowadays people don't use drawers. So we will be covering it very soon. So see, 2 minutes. My screen is off. See, I will be showing you what you have to install for the drawer navigation, right? So write React Native. So this is React navigation only. So React drawer navigation, right? See, and go to the official docs. So you will be using the React navigation drawer. So you have to install this, right? So wait, I will send you this install command. So npm install or expo, whatever you are using, React navigation drawer. So install this and then we will be ready to go. So I will show you how the drawer looks. Okay, so we will see in the code, right? See, let's see in the code. So this is how you create a drawer. This everything's similar in the stack navigation. Just you have to change the name, right? So see, the constant drawer is equal to constant create drawer navigator. So we created the drawer navigator, and instead of stack screen, you have to just show the drawer screen, drawer screen. Everything else is similar. So screen A, screen B, everything else is similar, and these are some properties. Okay, let's go through the initial root name. So initial root name means the screen you want to be displayed initially when the app is launched every time. So this will be the initial top screen. So now drawer position left. So if you need the drawer at the left, you have to put left, and if you need at right, you can put it right. So drawer type front also edge, with the edge of the drawer you need, you can increase it or decrease it. You have to, if you want to hide the status bar which is at the top, so you can take it false. And now you can take the drawer style, so you can give the styling to your drawer. So now for the screen options, if header shown, so in the last part we did header shown is equal to false. So the top screens were, the screen A and screen B were not displayed at the top. So swipe enable, so if you want to swipe it in between, so you can enable the swipe. So these are the two screens. So let's see how this works. Let us relaunch our app. npm run android. I guess it's launched. And the meaning of toggle is that on drawer and before drawer. So toggle is like, if there's a toggle here, it will be resumed it in the initial state. So you can toggle between the screens. See, the app will be launched here. I guess another there's a issue again. We will be launching it. See, the app is launched. At this time, we have created two demo screens and we have not given the function in the app.js itself. See, this is the first screen. This is the toggle drawer. So this is the drawer navigation. And if you want to go to screen A, you can go to screen A and you can go back to screen B. You can do everything, every kind of navigation. This is the toggle drawer. So this is all about drawer navigation. So I guess you have understood any and all the syntax is same as the stack navigation. You have to just understand the concepts of it. So this is how you give a tab navigation. So there's another thing called nested navigation. So we will be seeing it from the official docs itself. Nested navigation is like if you want a if you want wait, I will show you in React Native. If you want another stack navigator and another navigation in one navigation, like if you have a screen in that screen you have two bottom tabs. So in the first bottom tab, if you need three top tabs, you have to give a nested navigation in the first bottom tab of your screen. So the three top tabs would be in the first bottom tab of your screen. So that is called navigation nested navigation. See, so each navigator, these are the behaviors of nesting navigator. You have to read this. This is very important. And each screen in the navigator has its own params. So params is passing the value. Root.params is passing the first value to second. The Mukesh sir told in the JavaScript lecture how to pass values using root.params. So this is how you passing parameters to root. So this is how I will show you how to pass params. So see, this is the hook you have created of root of params, and now you have to give a root here because we are passing values, and then you have to pass the params in the next screen. So this is how you pass the params. So you have to take the params here and then send. See, if the this is item id is passed here, and if you want to update the param, you have to use navigation dot set param. So whenever the params is passed and you want to update it, you have to use this. The initial params is the first thing you want to see. This will be passed initially and you can update it. And if you want to give a passing param to a previous screen, here we were giving it to the next screen. If you want to give it to the previous screen, this is how you give. You can create a use effect. So you have to just like use state, there's a use effect, and you can give a if else condition. So this is how you give a and this is very advanced, so this won't be covered in your basics. So if you have any doubts or interested, you can Google it and you can study about params. This is not very useful. So if you have any other doubts, all the basics of React Native are covered. So since we don't have time, we will be starting with our app. Mukesh sir also will come from tomorrow. So we will be covering, I guess, our context app or another app in 2 lectures, and it will be fun. So if you have any doubts, or we have 8 minutes, right? So let's see some of the topics in the so if you have any doubts, you have to always refer to the documentations, right? See, the nesting navigators we did, navigation life cycle, you can study it here. And if you troubleshooting, and also if there's any error, you have to go here, stack overflow. I guess you know already, would be knowing this. So if there's any error, you have to type the error on Google. Then first site would be stackoverflow.com only. Then you have to go here and you have to search the error and the highest port solution. You have to refer that, and then you have to, there will be many errors when you would be creating React Native. So the errors will be displayed uh, here itself. If you have any errors here, I don't have any errors. There's yesterday I showed you red. It would be written in red. So if there are errors, you have to just copy paste the error and on Google, and then search on stack overflow and debug it. So this is how you give errors. So now If we have time, we can. If we don't have time, right? So if you have any doubts, we can cover them. And if you want any doubts on the installation setup, like you can